Good morning, dear students. How are you? Yes, I am also fine, and I hope all of you are fine. Yes, so welcome to this class. So, our nature is very important to us. It gives us to so many things. So, can you tell me what we called that things? Yes, we have air, water, soil, trees are there. That is forest are there. So, these all things are known as yes. Very good. That is natural gifts or natural resources. Yes. So, in this class, we are going to discuss about the first chapter of economics, that is the natural resources. Yes, in the previously, you learnt that human wants are very unlimited, but the resources to satisfy these wants are limited. Yes, and which gives rise to the problem of scarcity. Yes, because our wants are very unlimited and the available resources are very less. So resource is broad term indicating all the materials that human use in conducting their economic activities of production, exchange and consumption. Fine. And among the various types of resources, natural resources are the major one sources that are available for human uses. Yes. And these are the gifts of nature without which the survival of life is impossible. Yes. So natural resources are very important. We can't live without these resources. Yes. We want soil, minerals, water. Yes. So without these things we can't live. Yes, and the sunlight, water, air, forest, soil, biodiversity, mineral ores, etc. are the natural resources and which are the vital for survival. Yes, and however, with the increase in global population to more than 7 billion, it is becoming very difficult to provide even the basic amenities to a large segment of population. Yes, nowadays the population is growing. Yes, and we can't fulfill the whole we can't fulfill the wants. Yes, and this is a big problem. And in this chapter we will learn about the issues related to resource scarcity, environmental conservation and reducing our ecological footprint. Fine. So let's we discuss about meaning and types of resources. So what is the meaning of natural resources? Yes, very good. So, natural resources are naturally occurring substances that are considered valuable in their natural form. Yes. So, natural resource is nothing, it is given by the nature. Yes, that we call natural resources. And thus the soil which grows food, water, and that supports many of our activities. And the trees that give us many services. For example, we get air that is very helpful to breath, and the minerals that are raw materials for many products, etc. For example, sugarcane, it is a raw material for the sugar industries. And there are so many natural resources are there, and without this our life would not have been so comfortable. Yes, so that's why it is very necessary to all human beings. And natural resources are generally classified as following into two types. Yes, so you can see here. So you can see here the meaning and types of natural resources. Yes, natural resources means a natural resources is something found in a nature that people can use to meet their needs. So we can find the two classification in the natural resources. First one is renewable resources. Yes, we can produce once more, that we call renewable resources. So some natural resources they get replenished as we use them, and these resources are called renewable resources. For example, water is there, land is there, forest is there, air, sunlight. Yes, so heat is there. And next one is, so that is it can regenerate. Yes, so these are called as renewable resources. Whereas next one is non renewable resources. Yes, so some natural resources get depleted as we go along using them. Yes, they exhausted, and eventually they are emptied and cannot be created once again. And these resources are known as exhaustible resources. Yes, for example, minerals are there. Yes, ore is there, copper, gold, manganese, bauxite, etc. Once we used once we started to using it, so when it exhausted, we can't once we can't get once again it from that ore. Yes, so that's why it is called as exhaustible resources. Yes, we can't produce once again it. Yes, so and some minerals are there, like fuels is there, petroleum is there, diesel is there, coal is there. Yes, and natural gas, uranium, thorium. Yes, so these are the resources which get depleted and cannot be renewed. Yes, and nature cannot replenish them through its process, and so they are known as non renewable resources because it takes thousands of years. Yes, and resources can also be classified as biotic and abiotic resources. So biotic resources are those that are derived from living organism, and abiotic resources are those that are derived from non-living components of the nature. And while plants and animals are biotic resources, water, soil, minerals, etc. are abiotic resources. Fine. Next one is the scarcity of resources. Yes, so all our basic needs like food, shelter, clothes, etc. are met out of various natural resources like air, water, soil, minerals, coal, petroleums, animals and plants, etc. But how long these precious materials of the nature will be available for us? Yes, so, the growing population and rapid industrialization and urbanization have created heavy demand and of all these materials. Yes, nowadays we can see. So, growing population, it is very important or the big problem. So that's why the urbanization is came out, industrialization is came out, but the resources is not stable. So they are also exhaustible. So we are unable to fulfill all demands of these people. Yes, so that's why scarcity of resource problem arises, and especially in relation to our ever increasing wants, the availability resource are severely scarce. Yes, because demand is very high but supply is very low. Yes, and while the non renewable wants, the available resource are severely scarce. Yes, and renewable resource are available in fixed quantity. Yes, so non renewable resources are in the less quantity, but the population is very high and the demand it is very high. So that's why we can't fulfill the all all people demand. Yes, and the main factors of increasing scarcity are, so there are so many factors for scarcity of resources. So first one is overpopulation. Yes, nowadays the population is increasing and it requires additional land for growing additional food and providing shelter, which is met through conversion of forest land into agriculture land, and agriculture land into residential and commercial and industrial land. Yes, so nowadays overpopulation, it is a big problem for the scarcity of resources in the in the nowadays. So cultivable land it become a agriculture it become a industrial land and as well as residential land. So that's why nowadays there is a lack of land problem is there. So that's why overpopulation, it is the main problem of scarcity of resources. Next one is growing industrialization. Yes, as the population rises, so with this increase industrialization, extraction of mineral source, crude oil and water increases, resulting in emptying of mines, oil wells and water sources. Fine. Next one is expanding urban areas. So nowadays everyone they are shifting from village to urban cities because the job opportunities are also there for the getting education for their children. There are so many reasons, that's why they are uh, shifting from village to urban area. Yes, so urban area are those where a huge population live in a small area. Yes, and naturally the demand for resources and the generation of wasters is very high. Yes, and the contributing to reduction in the quantity and quality of resources. Just imagine the plight of Bengaluru, which receives Kaveri water from hundreds of kilometers away, and that pure water is converted into a wastewater by households and industrial units. Yes, so expanding urban areas, it is also a problem of scarcity of resources. Next one is atmospheric pollution. Yes, so with the greater burning of fossil fuels like coal, diesel, petrol, and more harmful elements like carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and soot and dust get into the air polluting. Yes, so urbanization, it has a huge industries, so they are exhausting so many gases, so that's why our atmosphere will get polluted, and this reduce the availability of clean air. Yes, so that's why we are facing so many problems that related to our lungs or breath. Okay, next one is fifth one is water pollution and land degradation. Yes, so when the human hospital, industrial and other wastes are dumped into the open space, that affect the land and water. Yes, so we have, so have you observed so many industries are there, they are dumping their wastewater into the directly rivers, so that's why the water, the pure water is get polluted. Yes, and that's why we are facing the water pure, that is pure water. Yes, and also land will get degradation. Yes, and water is also polluted by the agricultural and household activities. Yes, that's why we have to we have to filter the water, and then only we have to dump into the flowing water, whether it is small lakes or river. Fine, and therefore the increase in population and their increased economic activities have increased the scarcity and affected the quality of resources also. Yes, however the scarcity can be overcome by, yes, so you can also reduce the scarcity of resource. There are so many measures are there. Okay, so let's we see. So first one is exploration and discovery of new resources. For example, nowadays we are using petrol and diesel. So apart from this, biodiesel is there. We can use biodiesel, or electric vehicles are there. So we can use electric vehicle or biodiesel, or we can go by walk only, or we can use government facilities. For example, transport facility, that bus we can use, public buses are there, trains are there. Yes, next one is discovering substitutes and alternatives, like solar system is there, wind power system is there, coal power system is there. So these are some alternative things that we have to use our daily day to day life. Yes, next one is increasing the efficiency of resources use. Yes, that is nowadays four stroke vehicles are there. Yes, among now four stroke vehicles are there, and BS6 engines are there, BS5 engines are there. That is we have to use low consuming vehicle, low consuming diesel vehicles or petrol vehicles. Fine, next government policies to regulate overuse of resources and pollution. Yes, and next one is educating people about conservation of resources and less polluting ways of doing everyday activities. Yes, we have to give some awareness, or we have to develop awareness about the we have about the saving the resources. Yes, so these are the some activities that is very helpful to save our natural resources. Okay, so thank you for watching video. In the next class we are going to discuss about the next point. Okay, thank you.